Hello, welcome back to Toure TV. I pray you are well and I pray you are doing great. Most importantly, you, the Black family. To all those who have subscribed so far, I say thank you. I appreciate it because without you, we couldn't continue doing this. If you think you have seen it all in Africa, wait until you see this video.
I thought I should share my thoughts on this. So this happened in Uganda, where the people from the Ministry of Health were burying an empty coffin. As you can see, people came to see and they demanded that the coffin should be opened so that they can see who is inside. Now, upon opening it, as you're going to see in the video, when they opened it, they found out that the casket was basically empty. I had to look at this video many times to really see if the casket was empty, and really guys, you are going to see it. The casket was really empty. I was still in disbelief. I was telling a friend of mine who we were watching the video with, and I was like, no, there's that black thing. Is that not the head? Because I just couldn't believe it that people could do such things. Now, if Uganda is doing this, my question is, how many African countries have been doing this? All these numbers that we have seen that are escalating, the numbers of COVID cases and all that, could this be true? So I'm now here questioning all these COVID cases in Africa. So if Uganda is doing this, how about other African countries? So it means that in Africa, our governments are actually benefiting from this. Hence, they're just publishing a whole lot of cases of COVID-19 deaths and so on. Now, another question, guys, as you can see, look at the casket, right? Look at it. They're opening it and it's basically empty. So another question that I was asking myself while I was watching this is that, now, where is the body of the person that they claim to be dead? Where is the body of the person they claim to be dead? Because obviously they had informed relatives or whatever that your relative is dead due to COVID-19. Now, if you're telling me that my relative is dead, obviously because of the COVID and stuff, people can't go and view the body and stuff, because apparently the virus can move from the host. It doesn't die with the person. This is why people can't view the body. People can't be there when they are burying the body, because it can move from the host to you. That's why you see those guys are wearing all the white overalls and stuff. But my question is, if you told people that their relative is dead and then you go and bury an empty coffin, where is the body or where is the person? It's very weird. There are a lot of questions that I've been asking myself when I watch this video. There are a lot of questions. Now, I was also asking myself, all these cases of deaths that we are hearing about, are these people really dying of COVID, or are they just killing them so they can have a lot of numbers of deaths, so they can claim money or get loans from International Monetary Funds or World Bank? Why is Africa doing this? African leaders are so greedy, and because they are so greedy, they become so heartless. The question is, even if they get this money, where do they take it? Because we don't see development in African countries. Where are they taking the money? So imagine pretending that somebody is dead, you go and bury an empty coffin. I applaud the people of Uganda in what they did. Guys, they went in numbers to go see the body and they demanded to view the body. And there's nothing that the people could do about it. They just had to open the casket because they were going to be beaten up. It's a group, millions of people came out. They came out in number and they supported each other, and they made sure that those people really opened the casket. These are the questions that I'm asking myself. What happened now to the bodies that they claim to be dead? Where are they putting the bodies? Are these people really dying from COVID? Or are they just increasing the numbers, killing the people so that they can get help from overseas or from developed countries? Is this what they are really doing? Guys, I need you to put it in the comment section. What do you think about this? This is my opinion about this thing, and I don't think it's only happening in Uganda. It must be happening in most African countries. I have a feeling most African countries have been doing this, and Uganda has just been exposed. So I want to see the next country that is going to be exposed. I want to see the next country that's going to be exposed. Oh my God, this is really heartless. So what is your opinion on this? Let's talk in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you are here for the first time, please do subscribe.
Recently, I made a video, sometimes back in January or February, if I've not forgotten, about the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been affecting people throughout the world. Because the level at which the coronavirus has been affecting people in Africa is way too low. Most of the numbers of the people who got affected are being padded. They pad the number, these government officials, they pad the numbers in order to make it seem as if the coronavirus is really affecting Africans. You as an African or a continental African, have you ever seen someone who has seen another person who has seen someone who was affected by the coronavirus? It's very low, it's a minute amount of people that it affects, and very few die. Yet the government keeps on padding the number for their selfish gains. Do they even think at all? When they get the money, what are they going to use the money for? Museveni has been in power for quite too long, and he refused to step down. Yet this is the best he can do. For how long are we going to continue this way? And if we don't speak about it, these things will continue, because this madness has to stop. It has to stop. Now I'm getting to the Chinese issue as well. But just when you are about to forget what happened, they hit you with another one. There's this video where a Chinaman happened to handcuff a young lady in South Africa, a South African, in his supermarket. For whatever reason, I don't know. How did he even get to lay his hands on handcuffs in the first place in South Africa? Yet we are busy. South Africans are busy pointing fingers at other fellow Africans to welcome every Tom, Dick and Harry into our fold. I am trying to decipher the correlation between what this Chinese man has done and the offense of this young lady. I've been trying to decipher the correlation between the two, and up till now, I couldn't find out. If at all she stole something, doesn't he have a security officer there? Or better still, call the police on her. But to handcuff a young woman in broad daylight in your supermarket is totally uncalled for. Because this is Africa. We will not allow that to happen. I really wish it was in Lagos or in Nigeria here. I wish it was in Nigeria. We would have taught him how things are done. But nonetheless, black power to the black African who stood for the girl. For how long are we going to continue with this madness and sickness? For how long? Are we not yet wise enough? And this is the same sickness all over the continent. We've not seen it all. And we could not see it all. You know, the sickness and the foolishness of the continental African is that we forget so soon. But the diaspora, most importantly, the African Americans, they are not the people to forget so soon, because they have been with the white people and they know what they passed through. But since when they left Africa, we've forgotten everything that they did to us. Now we open our arms again. This very week, one Chinese man slapped a black woman in Lagos here in Nigeria, and the hair was beaten out of the idiot. He was really dealt with. Had it not been for the police, by now he would have been on the other side of the divide. We will not allow the insult that our ancestors passed through to be meted upon us. And it is the same situation going round the continent. Wherever we are the ones who have been abused, molested, denigrated. We are able to take it all. But we, this very generation, are going to put a stop to it, because we cannot take it anymore. We will not take it anymore. Enough is enough. All these so-called leaders of ours who are busy looting the continent dry, they sold their birthright And they are busy now trying to sell our own birthright and generations yet unborn. We will not take it. They can give the contract to whoever they wish to give. But time is coming, very soon, real soon, we are going to take matters into our own hands. Because these old men, in few years, they will not be here. We are the ones, and our children's children will be the ones to suffer it. Because they don't think generational. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. We are losing by the thousands day in, day out. Able young men going out of Africa and die in the deserts, while some die in the Mediterranean Sea. Those who were able to make it were killed elsewhere. For how long are we going to continue this way? It really pains me to see my people, our people, behaving this way. Why do we have to continue this way? Why? Whenever these so-called leaders of ours travel outside, what they see outside, those beautiful things that they see outside, why can't they simply replicate something similar or even much better than that over here? But no, they prefer to go outside and enjoy their life because they think the wealth of the national wealth belongs to them and their families. We have to change it, and we will change it, God willing.